having adverse childhood experiences growing up, I didn't know how to have structure, and I wasn't taught that. They were teaching me that in school, but even within school, I had no structure because I didn't do homework. Nobody checked my homework. Uh, I I I just was go outside, nobody was home really. So structure didn't happen to me until after I graduated from high school because I had such a hard time my formative years.
Welcome to Healing Conversations podcast.
Podcast.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Healing Conversations podcast.
Podcast.
You already know this is our space. We come together, we talk all things expansion, all things growth, all things healing. And y'all know we bring where we are in this real life experience to the space. And we really do the work by talking about what we are moving through. And we be the example of what healing looks like. And we send that ripple out into the collective. And that's how I like to say I add contribution to the collective healing by being it and not just speaking of it.
Yes, and you can also be a part of the collective contribution by getting into the comments, sending us a DM, hitting us up on Instagram at Raymel Bentley, at VZ Spaces. Let us know how these conversations are touching you, how they're impacting you, what you're learning from them. This is not just about me and Raymel and our wonderful guests this season sharing what we have journey through, what we're healing through. It's also an opportunity for you to express and to share and to allow other people to learn from what you're gaining from this. So make sure you're hitting us up.
Hmm.
Community dialogue, community space. And today we have someone wonderful from our community.
Hmm.
I'm so grateful to have met this person and heard their story and to just really see the progression of healing, the expansion, the growth through this person. Today we have Brother Jorge Ernesto,
Yeah.
and I will allow him to tell you about who he is and what he does and how he's such a light in this world.
Welcome, brother
Uh,
Jorge.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for having me. I am honored, first of all, because both of you have had such a big impact on my healing journey. So it's so
Mm.
great for me to have followed both of you and understood that my Saturdays used to be filled with listening to you both so that I could heal. So I always took that time
Mm.
to find replays and play them and listen to them and get as much as I could from both of you. So I want to thank you for allowing me and seeing me and then bringing me
Mm.
on because I have grown so much from being a part of your community and you welcoming me. So I am Jorge Ernesto Lozano. I am a transformational life coach. I'm also a 29-year flight attendant. So I pretty much have been life coaching for 29 years. Little did we know that's what we were doing. But I think we've always
Mm.
been gravitated towards what feels good. And to me, feeling good is being of service to people. And that service used to be on an airplane and being giving good customer service or emergencies or anything of that nature with helping. So I also want to share that I've had a huge problem with drugs and partying and sex and a lot of things that led me down a very dark road and not understanding why I would choose some of the paths that I would until I started working on understanding my pain and finding communities where I could speak up and hear other people's stories. And it was from listening to other people's stories that I was able to have the confidence within myself and lose the shame of speaking my story that I was able to go on with my healing journey. And I think saying it out loud and also saying it in public
Mm.
to an audience has made me not only own it, but use it as my wings to fly, because my pain has become my purpose.
Mm.
And one thing that I have learned through Ray Mel is my voice is my Life, it is my lifeline. It's who I am. It's who I am, and using my voice is what I am here to do. And if anything I say that resonates with you, understand that we have a community where we could speak up and be a part of, which is something that I have learned. I also
Yeah.
host
Mm.
Motivational Mondays through my Facebook page. So you could find my handles definitely Jorge underscore Ernesto underscore Lozano, which is my last name. And also you'll find my full name Jorge Ernesto Lozano through Facebook, and I'm hosting Motivational Monday once a month, and having these healing conversations. This is my purpose. That's how I fill my cup, so that other people could join and understand that there's so many platforms with community, and if you join one of us, you'll end up in every one of our rooms. So it's so wonderful. That's
Truly.
me.
Yes,
The
we love
ripple
you.
effect. And I'm
Yes.
just so honored to have you on, Brother Jorge. I've had the honor of witnessing your metamorphosis
Mm.
and seeing you from the beginning, Clubhouse days, and just seeing you putting those reps in of using your voice, sharing your story, being in in the work. It has been such an honor to witness how your light just continues to blossom and shine, and how your voice is your superpower, and you have the awareness, seeing you being this powerful being in the world that you've always been. It's just been such an honor, and I just wanted to say that before
Yeah.
we get into the conversation.
Yes, truly a blessing to know you. And I know it's so valuable because there are a lot of people who navigated the situations that you navigated, but like you said, they're still in that shame. But to when we see people out loud on the other side, it really is a powerful tool. But
Yeah.
yeah, Raymel, you want to introduce our topic today?
Yes, so today we are going to talk about structure and flow. And if this calls some people out, don't take offense. Receive it with love, because we're calling ourselves out also in the process. Because that's how you heal. You got to bring the darkness to the light and say, oh, that's there.
Mm,
So when I think in here of structure and flow, I think of my life journey. And I'm an Aquarius, I'm an air sign. So I love to be in flow. I have a there's the inner fight when it comes to too much structure, too much force. And for so long, I just said I'm a free spirit, which I still believe that is true. But I didn't realize being in too much flow is like pouring a bowl of cereal on the counter because you don't have a bowl to contain it. And
I
that's
feel
how
it.
I felt like my life was, just splatting and spilling everywhere
Mm,
because I had no direction. I had no borders that would bounce me back. I would just stay down or stay stuck in just falls that I would have in life. And for so long, I just thought, well, I see other people who just seem like they got it all together and they're doing it all the right way. And I would think there was something wrong with me. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just get it together or get things done? And I always like to say, when I started this journey of self-development and healing, it allowed me to see those dark spaces and places in my journey that I didn't know were keeping me from really embracing the structure. Because
mm,
for me, I didn't have much protection, which would have been the containers for me. So I was just flowing in any space or place that felt what I thought was safe or felt secure. And I didn't realize that that made me believe that I'm just meant to just flow with the wind. If it's something that feels good over there, in the sense, if it feels safe or secure, go. And I didn't realize that that was something that was keeping me in this loop of stuckness, because I wasn't allowing myself to open up for things that will support my expansion and growth. I was so clinged and attached to things that were of disservice to me.
mm,
And when I entered the entrepreneur world, That's where all the awakening began because I did not realize how much I sat in disbelief, self-doubt, unworthiness, which made that flow seem like a run. So I wasn't in
Mm,
flow, I was in survival and running, avoiding, hiding, but not facing that I needed support, aka structure. I needed systems, aka community and people. I needed containers, aka coaches, that will give me that space to really see myself, address myself, and allow myself to really take that first step of doing the work. Which, as a adult, as I took the first step, I started to see structure wasn't a bad thing.
mm,
It actually supported my flow in a effective way if I allowed myself to really do that work. So I've been in this journey of releasing the old beliefs that I have to run, that I have to hide, that it's not safe to face, and really working on just in life moments, standing instead of shrinking and allowing myself to see that I can do this. I
mm.
got this because it's in me, not on me. And I'll end it there.
Ooh, so you said that the entrepreneurial journey has benefited your healing journey and your awareness journey. And I don't think a lot of people really understand that.
Mm,
Because when we decide as entrepreneurs, whether that be as a service, coaching, training, whatever, or be as a product, makeup, hair, whatever, art, books, you start putting yourself out there. There is a necessary work of seeing where your self worth is at,
mm,
because that's going to impact your pricing. That's going to impact how much you are promoting yourself. If you feel comfortable doing that, that's going to impact the quality of service that you offer to people. And if we don't do that work, then things don't really go too far because that lack of self-worth, that limitation, those limiting beliefs are going to keep you at a certain ceiling, and things are not going to take off the way that you want them to. Like, you're not going to be able to really build a structure because, like Raymel said, there's these different blocks that are telling you this isn't safe. I shouldn't
mm.
do this. This isn't for me. So I just really want to touch on that because, ooh, that just hit me. Like, the entrepreneurial journey is a healing journey, like in a very real sense. Um, and what was also coming up for me was the way that I was raised was very structured. And I was waking up at like 5:45 every morning to get ready to be out by 6:45 to go to school, to in classes all day, go to my extracurriculars, get picked up, like, for years of my life. And when I became an adult and I went off to college, and at that time it was very interesting to see how I still had that structure, but I was trying to like break out of it a little bit. And then when I dropped out of college and just moved to LA to enter the workforce, I really fell out of the structure stuff because I was like,
Yeah.
all of this is a scam. Like, structures are scams. Don't let them keep you in a box. However, I did end up in a very aimless atmosphere, and I didn't have any direction. And I recognize retrospectively how that put me in a place of feeling purposeless,
Mm,
because I didn't have somewhere that I was really aiming toward. And even when I did have entrepreneurial ideas or did want to reach out and do something different, I didn't have the familiarity anymore with the structure and how it could support me.
mm,
And so that left me in a space of feeling again, just purposeless, and like my life wasn't really meant to be anything more than just these dead end jobs. And it wasn't until I got into personal development that I started getting different seeds and lessons about the importance of self discipline and how it supports you with actually building your life higher and higher, and how the consistency compounds and creates greater results as you continue to grow. And it's still taking me some time. Listen, y'all, I'm still
It's a
still getting
journey.
the structure things together. Entrepreneurial, listen, this is for me today. The entrepreneurial journey is a healing journey.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I'm still working on that. However, I am in a much more clear space about the importance of structure and the understanding that it's there to support me, not there to constrict me. And I'll land that there because what you got to say, Jorge? What's coming up for
Yes.
you?
Well, a lot is coming up for me, and I was the opposite of Angelique. I had zero structure. I am the son of an immigrant that had a fifth grade education who didn't speak any English. So when it came to structure, there was no way my mother could, with a fifth grade education, there's no way she would know about helping me with homework, doing homework, going, definitely get to school, definitely that structure, and getting home. That was as much. And of course, in school. But because, knowing I want to bring up ACEs right now because having adverse childhood experiences growing up, I didn't know how to have structure and I wasn't taught that. They were teaching me that in school. But even within school, I had no structure because I didn't do homework. Nobody checked my homework. Uh, I I I just was go outside, nobody was home really. So structure didn't happen to me until after I graduated from high school because I had such a hard time my formative years that when I left high school as a dancer, I wanted to be like I knew everything. Even though I didn't know, I lived as if I did know it. I didn't fake it. I just said I knew things when I said I knew them in order for me to learn it. And so I absorbed everything. And so I hate to say this, I always thought I was a know-it-all, because I was streetwise from being a runaway and from watching my back. And so I was very streetwise. So that helped me through life, honestly. Not understanding my aces also led me through an unstructured life, having no boundaries, having nobody to tell me what to do. I did what I wanted when I wanted, as many times as I wanted, and not realizing that structure in my life was needed. I need structure in my life. It wasn't until somebody else started seeing my gifts within myself that I started building my own structure. It took 50 years to understand my structure. I've always held a job, don't get me wrong. I've been a flight attendant for 29 for 29 years. So I've always been excuse me. I've always had a structure of I know that my responsibilities, go to work, make money, but I was never happy going to work and making money until I started working on my healing journey and finding structure within my healing journey, understanding that what happened to me was not my fault, but what I do today on forward is my responsibility. I have to set my boundaries, I have to set structure, and I have to be around people who are structured, who are setting boundaries, because we feed off of that. Because we see other people with structure and we want to be a lot like that. And we realize how much that works for us. So I will land it there.
Hmm.
Mm.
I
I
just
love that
wanted
you
to
brought the
share.
boundaries into the structure because
Mhm.
that is the piece that often people don't connect the two together. Boundaries container that doesn't allow unwarranted people or things into your space. And that's something that even when we think of the entrepreneur and just life, like a lot of times we don't know how to say no. So we don't
Yeah.
hold that structure of allowing us ourselves not to be put in environments or let people into our environments or spaces without feeling the obligation of just being or doing what we feel like they want us to versus having that boundary, that structure of saying, no, I don't want to do it. I don't feel called to do it. Or
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to let you do that or say that to me, and creating that container of safety that keeps us in that space of peace and groundedness and happiness. I love that you brought the boundaries into the structure and flow because a lot of
Mhm.
times for me, I didn't know what that B word was. I'm like, what is a boundary? Is that what they do in games? They have the boundaries to keep them from scoring. Like, is that what it is? I don't know much about sports, but I thought those two connected. But then as I was in this work, I'm like, oh, boundaries is a no. Boundaries is I don't want to. Boundaries is you can't do that or you're not allowed to. And it was hard. It was hard. The thing that you think would be the easiest thing to follow was for me the hardest to really comprehend and understand. Most importantly, implement. Like, I'm like, what if I lose people? What if they don't like me? What if they change how they feel about me? So if I'm not the person who is just in flow, aka doing what you want, who will I have? So that was like came up for me. Even with my business, when people would want to reschedule or do things to like alter payments and stuff in the beginning. I just wanted to make sales. I just wanted to build and bring people in. So I'm like, yes, okay, whatever you need me to do, okay. And I'm like, wait, I'm actually doing more. Or it doesn't like I'm forcing it. So there was like this lack of boundaries, that lack of structure that didn't allow me to be in flow when I'm overdoing and overgiving, but not having that like border of within this window of time because I can, not because I can't. So thank you for bringing
Mm.
that in, brother Jorge, because I feel like
Yeah.
that I wouldn't even have brought the boundaries as a structure. So thank you for like bringing that to my awareness that they
Mm.
are connected.
Mm. Yeah, and I wanted to share quickly because you both mentioned the influence of people around you. So Raymo was talking about how we will witness people and they seem like they got it all together, and it's like, what's going on over there? And it's probably they have the systems, they have the boundaries, they have the structure, so they're able to do the things on a consistent basis. And then Brother Jorge was sharing how it's important to be around people who do have structure, who do have boundaries. And we mentioned this in one of our other episodes how um, it's often easy to feel jealous or envious about people. But instead of being jealous or envious, why not be curious? Why not go and say, hey, what is it that they're doing over here that is allowing them to live in a way that I'm attracted to? Because everyone in the world is an example for us to learn from.
Mm,
And when we take the time to do our healing, understand, okay, I feel like something can grow here for me from what I'm witnessing, we can be curious and we can go and see, okay, what are their boundaries? What are they saying no to? What are they saying yes to? What does this look like? Because we are all learning. Um, like we've been sharing, like we haven't had the training for this. We've had to pick it up. We've had to recognize, oh, I
mm,
wasn't taught how to have boundaries, but now I'm going to learn because I see how it's benefiting other people. I see how it can benefit me. Oh, I wasn't taught how to, make a business schedule and set standards for people to not just be switching stuff up all over the place. I was taught how to be an employee and do whatever you need me to do. So
Mhm.
now it's time for me to relearn. or unlearn something and then learn something new that's actually going to
Mhm.
benefit me. So I just really wanted to tap on that because I
Yeah.
think it's important, um, that we have that understanding that this is a collective experience, that we get to learn from each other, and that we shouldn't judge ourselves based on what other people are doing or having or being.
Thank